cases are normally, we'll have a workman's comp case, where we'll have a week or two that that we work on the case. Um, Other ones, like I say, they are more other like cases we get called the last minute are cases like where you have a person who flies into town who evaded civil suits in other states, other countries. Those are 2 or 3 day turnarounds. You try to locate them in a conference, but most of the steady cases are, you'll spend a week or two doing surveillance on a workman's comp case or someone trying to do fraud with insurance fraud. I had a homeless person who had won a large settlement, statute of limitations, and they could not find him anywhere. Really, really challenging cases where you don't have any electronics, no phones, no credit cards, and you have to track people down based on hunches and investigative skills. Really interesting how I tracked him down. Yes, he only thing I had was I was talking to homeless people, and someone told me he got in a car on the way to let me see, it was Utah. Utah. He's on the way to Utah. I'm like, what part of Utah? I have no idea. They said some church people picked him up. I said, well, what church people? I have no idea. That's the only thing I had. So, one thing about being a police officer, you learn to play hunches, and you just, you get really motivated to solve cases. So I asked someone that I work with, I said, what's the closest part of Utah to Nevada? And he said, St. George. So I started calling homeless shelters in St. George, Utah. And what do you think they told me? We can't give out information. Of course, I'm persistent. I'm going to say, well, if you want to be the one to explain to this person that he lost he's homeless and he won, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars he's going to get, that's fine with me. So they said, well, he just left. I said, well, where'd he go? I have no idea. I said, well, where do people go when they leave homeless shelter, your homeless shelter? They said, go to the library. I said, what's the name of the library? So I called the library. And they searched for him. And so they said he wasn't there. And I asked them to call on a loudspeaker, and they said he wasn't there. I said, well, can you do me a favor? Can you go outside and see if there's anybody hanging around there? So they went out there, and there was a couple of homeless people out there, but he wasn't there. So I got on my phone. This is where networking, just like in law enforcement, is very important. So I called a PI in St. George, Utah. I said, Chuck, can you do me a favor? Can you go to that library and see if you can, locate this person? So he went up there and he said, Maurice, do you have a pen? I said, yes. He said, take this number down. And some of the homeless guy told me he went to work for this company. So I called the company, and what do you think they said? Same thing. Would you like me to explain to this gentleman that he's lost hundreds of thousands of dollars and he don't have a home? I said, okay. He works here. Okay. He said, but he's way out in the Grand Canyon. Can you send somebody out there? My God, you push. Yes. It was hilarious because when I got him on the phone, he said, I don't know who you are. You have to be awful good to find me. So I three-wayed the attorney, and the attorney got on the phone. All three was on there, and he said, oh my God, I can't believe we found you. I thought we'd never find you. And again, this case is at the statute of limitations. They've invested the time, and no one's going to get paid. So then about 2 weeks later, I get a call back from the attorney. He said, Maurice, you won't believe this. What do you think he told me? They can't find him again. I said, oh my goodness. So I called the company, and I said, well, who's his best friend? So they told me. So I said, can I have his home phone number? We don't normally do that. You know what I said? I talked to the friend. He told me he worked for another company. I found him for the second time, and he was able to get his money. The first thing I would say is join professional associations that deal with private investigations, to get to know people and help decide what type of specialty you might want to go into. Like I said, there are a bunch of specialties. Try to connect with the PI. Try to see if you and maybe go on. I guess sort of like a ride along with the PI. I've had people do that with me, particularly college students and stuff, and they want to see us like. So see if you can find a local PI and particularly if someone's already been in law enforcement that has a private detective agency. I would say that. So, trying to find out what they're like, and go online and look up other private investigation companies, see what kind of specialties, they have and things like that to kind of know what you're getting into and know that it's going to be different. Even, if you, as I stated earlier, even if you have a background doing surveillance, when you come into private investigation, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. You really have to establish a rapport because you don't have any authority. Please know you have authority people, they're going to have to do some cooperate to a certain degree, but you have no authority. So you really have to be good at establishing rapport with people and getting information out of them.